Okay, today we're taking a look at Commando HMT Garnet. This is one of the new releases. Usually Commando releases two reprints and two new stories. They sometimes mix that up, but this is one of the newer stories, and so I did want to talk about it. So what's kind of interesting about it is it's got a couple of characters. They're friends from World War I, and then they're involved in a story in World War II. Now, unfortunately, some of the art here, it's pretty bad. Like this here, I mean, it looks like it's almost AI art. Like, what's going on with his hand there? Is that his hand? Is that his arm? Because here it looks like that's his arm with this darker, and so like I don't know, it's really bad sometimes, some of this art, and with a modern comic you just don't know, is that AI or not, and I'm really suspicious that that's AI. At least a few of these panels just look like that, and it's terrible. And then unfortunately the pacing isn't very good, so they have this kind of flashback to World War I, and that eats up too much time in the comic, so that the ending just kind of feels rushed. Sometimes these newer comics, they can kind of tell a story that's a little bit more interesting. Sometimes some of the reprints are a little too, a story from, the 70s or the 80s. Maybe it was a little too jingoistic, and the Germans are just so clearly the bad guys. And you can't have a compassionate German officer or something, for instance, who's not a Nazi. Just everyone's like a full-blown Nazi. And sometimes that makes the story a little less interesting. And here, I think they had the pickings, they had the idea of a good story, but it's just not executed well, because the main story is too rushed. They're always trying to fit in a story in 60 some pages, and too much of it is done in this flashback. I mean, if they'd done like 1 or 2 pages of that, or maybe even just done 2 separate books, have it start out, have a whole book, 60 pages on these friends from World War I and their adventures, and then do a current up-to-date story with them running their trawler. That would have been a much more interesting story, instead of rushing 2 into 1 book. So I just, given the AI art and how rushed this is, I don't know for sure it's AI, but it looks like it. I just cannot recommend this. So I would pass on this particular issue of Commando.